Number 2 video on this YouTube channel. Welcome. I posted yesterday, and that was a long video. I don't intend for this to be a long video. We're just here from now on to drop one topic, and that's it. So I'll get straight to the point here. First day. Wonderful day. I had a great time. It was sunny, and so we have one full-time salesman door knocking right now, and I was with her the whole time, and we learned a lot. But the number one thing I just kept thinking the whole time I was door knocking. I was like, wow, all that success means or takes is effort. Let me think about that. Let me think about what I just said for a second. I think what I'm trying to say is that success does not discriminate to those who put the work in to achieve it. I, for the most part, throughout the winter, watched a ton of videos on sales to try to understand the game. And I was very, very humbled at the doors today. Let's just say that. But I didn't just stop, which was the most important part. And I think that the reason that I'm making this video today is to speak about that. And I think just the fact that I kept going led me to the success that I achieved today. That's the part 1 of this. So we did about 5 hours of sales, door to door knocking. And all the videos of the correct way to overcome certain objections and how to follow a script and scripting and how important scripting is. It's all super good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But what I am saying is that that's not the most important thing. The most important thing at the doors or any type of sales is the sales itself. Like, you can do one super good door with all the right the tactics and script and all the stuff well, but if you just knock like 5 doors in a day, and let's say you close one of them, you closed one sale. Nothing wrong with that. But if you had no script, which the salesman that I have has no experience in sales, like really none, like no real experience in sales, but she just knocked doors for 5 hours and showed her face and said, we do this. And the results of that far outweigh doing just minimal volume and not really, and not using all the skills that you have. And so success does not discriminate to the people who put the effort in to achieve it. No matter how unskilled you are, I think if you knock 100 doors compared to knocking 5 as a highly skilled sales associate, you will close more deals than the sales associate that's trained. That's just my opinion. And the second part of this topic is leaning in to the fact that you don't know anything about sales or about anything that you do. I think let's say you go to so this was what happened today. I was at one of the doors, and this was actually not a door-to-door sale. It was a Google. So I'm very fresh to Google. I've only been on Google for like 2-3 months, so my SEO is not very good. And I leaned into that, and well, the customer leaned into that. And what she said was, you know, I saw your page, and you've only been in business for 5 years, and I noticed those are the people that do the best work, blah blah blah, whatever. Basically saying you're a rookie, and I didn't get offended because all I want at the door is the sale. I don't care if you tell me I'm ugly or like whatever. You could say whatever. It doesn't offend me. Or the egos. It's just so crazy how people will go to a door or go to a customer and they say something about the business like, oh, like it seems overpriced, or like you guys like if they offend you in any way, just take it and think, how can I turn this into a sale? That's it. Just consider it um irrelevant. All that matters is when you go to a sale or a sales conversation, is that you land the sale. Like I just don't see any other goal that you could have. That's number one to the second part. And number two is it kind of leans into the other side as well, where just don't worry how you get sales, and just keep going. Like, just because your script isn't super good, don't just stop. Like, don't just like, like a couple people were just super angry today, and like we went together because it was our first time at the doors. Um, and mind you, she literally doesn't know anything about lawn care, and it was kind of funny. We needed to take a break, like at the end, because she literally didn't know what weed whacking was, and she still closed a sale. I want you to conceptualize this. She didn't know one of the most basic, and this is my fault, by the way, 100%. Like, she's representing my company, and I didn't even teach her about the most basic stuff because I made the stupid assumption that everybody knows everything about lawn care, and nobody does. Nobody cares. And so it was so funny. It was such a good lesson for me today that, of being extremely detail oriented in training, as well as was with customers, but also letting your employees know and teaching them about the products that you sell. Super important. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Back to um, what we were talking about. So just don't worry. Just go knock. Go knock. Go call. Go whatever you guys do. Um, just do it. Like, just perform actions and get the reps, because fuck, like, it was such a deep lesson for me today that, like, it nothing can compare to just raw action. If you just go out and knock doors and you don't even know anything, let's say you decided, I have a business in driveway sealing. You don't even have equipment yet. You don't even have equipment. You don't even know what a driveway sealing is. You just heard the word, you heard the term, you saw somebody was making money in it online, and then you got up from this chair and you went, boom, I'm driveway sealing. If you just knock for 5 hours, whatever, how many hours, doesn't matter. Just go knock. I guarantee you somebody's just going to be like, man, I kind of feel sorry for this kid. Probably makes no money. And they're just going to give you the sale. And you might even do a terrible job. But the point is that raw action defeats all else. Like that was a big lesson. And so yeah, I keep going off topic with this second part, but what I want to say in the second part is that don't worry about how you get the sale. I think I've kind of gone in circles with this video a couple times, but I hope I'm driving one lesson home, which is just don't worry about it. Like, what this person was saying to me could have been offensive to other people. For me, I leaned into it. I'm like, hey, completely get it. Like, I appreciate you helping small business owners. And she's like, yeah. And it was a fucking $4,000 job. Mind you, it wasn't closed. She still got to think about like whatever, her husband wasn't there. Um, and $4,000 was a big ticket. But I could have lost it so easily if if I had an ego about what she was saying to me. And so, yeah, have the goal of getting a sale and not have like, this chip and ego on your shoulder. That's one. And then also like lean into it. Like forget having the ego itself. Forget your ego, number one. Then lean into it. If she's saying this is why she's choosing you, then fucking, if she's choosing you because, let's say, oh, you're selling fucking beauty products, and you see their customer says, I saw you had a really fucking bad review on your fucking whatever, and I just disagreed with it. I don't know, like I don't even really know what like a good example of this is. It's like whatever reason a customer has to give you money, fucking run with it. If it progresses you into sale, who gives a fuck what it is? And that's the lesson that I learned today. 2 lessons, 2 parts to the same sort of thing. Just act. And just don't give a fuck about how you do it, at least to start. Tweak it, get better, of course. I'm not saying be an idiot every single time. But, like, there's just nothing that beats the raw action of knocking a door, calling a customer, cold calling, like doing the thing. Because, I've always had this belief that's just served me quite well, and it's that the universe will reward hard work in some fashion. This might be disproved in the future for me, but every time I've genuinely put my best foot forward in trying to do the things that I believe to be the right thing to do at that time, I've always seen some sort of benefit, whether I learned a lesson or I gained material success, whatever it was. It was always just me choosing to do the thing I thought I should do at that time. And the best thing, I talked about this yesterday, but the best thing about this world we live in now is that the information from the best of whatever you want to do is out there. And so yes, first step is take the first step. Second step is get better. Take the first step and then learn from what you did and then get better. Because what's worse than taking the second step, which is taking the second step in doing the thing I did at the start, which is just go out again, is not learning from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and iterate, get better. Next door, okay, this person said, I have to talk to my wife. Even with this girl, that the $4,000 job, I should have said something to combat her objection. But my thought process at the time was, would I want to make a decision without consulting my partner if I had one? That was of this ticket. This ticket was $4,000, and so I was like, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Unless I was fucking rich. which we will get there. That's why I make these videos. I genuinely believe that, you know, this is something I'll look back on, and I enjoyed the first video that I made, and I choose to continue to document because probably look back on this one day and it'll be cool. But also, this is I just told my brother that I dropped this fucking hour-long video that nobody's gonna watch. And he was like, wow, what a waste of time. And I was like, no, because in the video, well, the first half of the video was more just like some bullshit. And then at the end, I had a thought that I was going through. It's actually right here. I have it written down. The client / prospect priority tier list, which is where I broke down. And what I was doing was speaking out loud, because the best way to learn is to teach. The best way to learn is to teach. And so I was trying to conceptualize it for myself by teaching it to this audience on YouTube, aka me, teaching it back to myself, essentially. And so this was just going on in my head, and then I put it onto paper, and then I conceptualized it by saying it. And now I'm doing the same thing for what I learned, what I was just speaking about with the sales. But yesterday it was my priority tier list, active paying clients. So it's essentially saying what my priorities should be in terms of my clients. So people who pay me money actively, number one, those are the most important people in my business. Number two, non-active clients. So have I reached out to all the people that are past clients or just one-off jobs that I did that maybe could become monthly subscriptions type of clients. Number three is highly engaged leads, people who basically told me that they're in and just confirming with them or confirming appointments for quotes with people who are super engaged on text or called me like a bunch of whatever. Highly engaged leads, people who just messaged me about, you know, being interested in the things I sell. And then leads just in general, kind of similar to engaged leads, people who message me, but also, you know, this leads in general kind of switches over to my next one, which is warm audience, right? So a lead is just someone that you can contact, right? That's tough. But anyways, warm audience is people who haven't consented to me, not consented, haven't asked for my service, but know me or I know them, or opted into maybe, let's say, my email subscription, or actually that's better, that's more of a lead. In this at least ranking. What I mean by warm audience is people like my followers, my family, my friends, people I know, like acquaintances, things like that. People who I already have some level of rapport with in the past. And then cold audience, which yesterday I went into depth about how the fine line of like time spent versus priorities. Like 1 to 6 is my priority. Like they're my number one priority. So I choose to schedule my calendar in this order. But there's only so many of these people. There's only so many active paying clients that you have, only so many non-active clients that you have. So once you've run through the entire list, all that's left is people that you don't know. And this shouldn't take very long to get through all of these people. Once you can't just message someone every single day, they will hate you. So once you've gone through all of these, can you even see this? I don't know, probably not, whatever. Then it becomes cold audience, and your cold audience is where I spend actually my most of my time in, but not before I've drained drained these. And so that's the distinguishing factor that I needed to um, conceptualize for myself. And honestly, doing it again today has helped because it flowed a lot better today. I already noticed that. And today's lesson was a massive one. Massive fucking, like, blew me away. She knocked a door. My sales associate knocked a door today. And this is when I knew I fucked up. When she told me that the person at the door said, "What are your services?" And she didn't even know. Like, she didn't know what to say. I was just telling her, like, what the script was in terms of, like, what we want to sell to start, which is just the grass cutting, because we can take those people and you know, provide them some value, which is in the form of grass cutting, and then you know, upsell them later once we have their trust and things like that. So I was telling her, just start with the grass cutting, do that, and then go from there. But this is the funny thing, and this is the sale I was talking about. She didn't even know the services that we provided. She had fucking no clue. See, she, like, we have a quote sheet. I don't have it here, but yeah, I don't have it here. But it basically has the services listed on the side, and so she was smart. She was quick with it, and she looked at the quote sheet, and she said, "Yeah, just go ahead and fill it out." When they asked her what what services she provided, and basically it was actually quite smart because she assumed the sale, like, you know, just fill it out and then we'll go from there, like, not the sale, but